lots of you are just beginning programming, and it's hard to find examples that help you to get into the programming right from the start without things getting too confusing. So I'm trying to write this small video that will give you an example, and then I'll follow up with another small program for you to code in. So all of the ideas here are from thecodingpie.com, which is this post here, which I think is really good for giving some ideas about interesting first programs. It's quite hard to find something that's small enough but interesting. So also note the hash, any hash makes anything a comment. So if you're copying anything later on, you don't have to put a hash, you don't have to include anything that I've done with a hash. That won't be repeated, that won't be looked at by the computer. That's just to help you understand. If you want to play with this code, you can copy it from my REPL. It's written here, and you'll find that you need to fork it. This is someone else's code that they sent me, and what I did was I just clicked on fork here and it made my own copy for you. And better still, because it's never really a good idea to just cut and paste code, is for you to type some of this code in, but I would only do that with probably the last example, because the others are showing why it's just stepping stones to it. So I have 3 examples of this cake making program. The first one, I've written my 4 instructions, and I've then written that 5 times. So I would have 5 vanilla cakes made. That's okay, they would work, but each time is written over and over. If I change how I make my cake, then I've got to remember to change each version of that, each copy. Also, I'm very likely to make mistakes, so it's not a good way to write it. And life is too short to type things over and over. Also, I've never really said, I know we can tell, I've never really said what it is I'm doing here. So it's not defined as any particular instructions for anything. This could be for making some sort of cake weapon or something, who knows? So it's not very clear. Here's a second version of that code. Can you see how much shorter it is? So what I've done is I've defined, that's what the def means, a function here, make cake, and then I've written all the instructions that belong to that function. And what I need to do, what I then need to do is I will then call that function 5 times, and each time I call it here lower down, each time I call it, it will run that code. What's good is I've given it a sensible name, so now we are sure it's for making a cake. Notice the word def, D-E-F, and the word print are lowercase. They're all lowercase. They're keywords in Python, part of the language, and they must start with a lowercase. Notice also that there is a colon just at the end of this line, and that the next lines are what's called indented. They're just in a little bit. Each one of these is in a little bit, and the colon and then the indent says everything after the colon is part of my function, which I've called make cake. And once we come to the lines coming back out again, back to the main margin, that's the end of our function. And notice also that there are brackets all over the place. Can you see all at the end here and in the function I've defined here. And we'll look in the next version, the last one, which I think you should copy, explains why we have brackets waiting there. So this is a better copy. If I were you, I would write this code out and try it out and make it work. Make sure you've got lowercase d, lowercase p. Make sure you've got a colon. Make sure you've indented with the tab key. That's over caps lock, not spaces. Make sure you've included quotes where they should be. So what I've done here is I've defined my function, a repeatable or a linked group of instructions. Then I've called hold on. Then I've called the function, and this time you'll see what the brackets are for. Now I have a value. In the first case it is vanilla, and that value is being thrown into each call of make cake. As a variable, it will then inside that space call flavor. So I will add vanilla flavor, then I will add chocolate flavor, then I will add an orange flavor, and so on. An idea for this could be that you could have a times tabler. You teach it in the function how to do the calculation, and then as you call it, you tell it which times table to do. So I'm just going to run this to show you, and what will happen, because these are all in the same coding space, you'll see them all run together. Okay, and what we'll see is here I have vanilla cake 5 times. I wrote it all, every single line. What a terrible waste of my time. Then I made a function, but this time I could only have one flavour. So I told it in the function what flavour to make, and it's made 5 maple syrup cakes. Then finally, and this, as I say, would be a good piece of code for you to type in and check it works, I've made 5 different cakes, and each time the flavour is different. So there's vanilla, there's chocolate, there's orange, there's banana, and there's strawberry. So this is a really key piece of information that we've learnt here. How to make a function, how to call it, and how to put an argument into a function.